And in Iran, they told us that for girls, that's 9, and for boys, that's 15. That means there's no sin for boys before age 15. There's no sin, right? And, suicide is a sin in Islam. You go straight to hell if you commit suicide, right? However, I just told you that they told us there's no sin before age 15, right? So I put these together and I realized that if I kill myself before age 15, I will go to heaven, because it's a sin to commit suicide in Islam, but not if I do it before age 15. I went and checked with my religion teacher in school, and I was like, listen, why shouldn't I just not kill myself so I could make sure I go to heaven? Because if I get to age 15, then everything is up for grabs. Like, I could go to hell. I could be punished for thousands of years in hell. But if I kill myself before age 15, then I'm for sure going to go to heaven, because I died as a ma'asum. I died as a pure sinless person. And my religion teacher told me, like, well, the reason why you shouldn't do that is because if you die and go to heaven because you died as a child, you are going to get the lowest part of heaven, the least significant. So heaven apparently has 7 parts, and the best part is where Muhammad is for the martyrs. But the lowest part is for people who died as children, right? So it's like, you should stay alive and earn heaven so you could get to a better part of heaven. And I thought to myself, this guy is a fucking idiot. Why would I care which part of heaven I'm going to get? I just want to make sure I don't go to hell. I will be, if the potential is to go to hell, I would be satisfied with a parking light for all I care. Just my priority is not which part of heaven I get. My priority is to make sure that I'm not being tortured for thousands of years. And like, why would I gamble? Why would I gamble getting a better part and then opening the risk of going to hell for this? So I was like, okay, this makes no sense. I'm out. I'm going to quit early. This is like a game nobody asks me to play. And the consequences of losing this game is so high that nobody on their right mind will play this game. So I'm going to just check out early. I just found a get out of jail free card, like get out that I'm going to use. I'm going to use this card. And I just jumped out the window for my school. I jumped out the window in my school. I broke my left arm. I broke both my legs. I fractured my back, almost paralyzed myself. And I was in a wheelchair for 7 months. I missed 1 year of school. And the only reason why I didn't try it again was because I saw what it did to my parents, and I felt very guilty. It devastated my parents. I saw my mom collapse on the ground. I saw my dad cry for the first time in my life. So I was like, I felt very guilty what I did to them, so I didn't try it again. But
did you ever tell this story
that
before?
was, yes.
Yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just curious now, because I was like, wow, that's an
Yeah.
incredible story.
Yes. Actually, right. I mentioned it in my book. I have this book. I wrote this book, Why There's No God.
Oh wow,
Okay. And you
good,
could,
good.
yeah.
Guys, get it.
Yes. Yeah, it's a bestseller on Amazon, actually. And the last chapter is my story. So it does mention it in the last chapter. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I aged, so I that was my way out to go to heaven. But then when I hit age 15, then I was like, okay, now I'm screwed. Now I have to make sure that I follow all the Islamic rules, everything. I just follow Islam to make sure I don't go to hell. But it was very difficult to. I thought how hard could it be? I just have to pray. I just have to fast during Ramadan and don't sin. Okay, and if you sin, just ask for forgiveness and you'll be fine. Um, but it was so difficult because age 15 was also the age that I started noticing girls so much more than I used to. And so I realized, like, okay, this is actually a lot more difficult than I thought, because God could also see inside your mind. So it's not just your actions that are sins, your thoughts are also sins.
Your
And this
thoughts
is
are
the age
sins
that
in
you're
Islam?
having. Yeah, you're having bad thoughts, thinking about the things that you shouldn't be thinking. Those
I
are
think in
sins as well.
Christianity too, right? Like thoughts are sins.
bad thoughts are like, I mean, if you're thinking about things you shouldn't be thinking, those are sins as well. So this it's a God is a tyrant of not just your actions but also your thoughts. You're being thought
No,
policed,
it's
right?
an ask. I'm just asking because, like, if
Yeah.
it's not like that in Judaism. Your thoughts are not sins.
Yeah, so different Christians have different perspectives, but many of them, yes. Like for example, if you're fantasizing about something that you shouldn't be, that's a sin in Christianity as well. Yes. So yeah, but it's yeah. So that was very difficult, obviously. But at the same time, I still couldn't get around how God could be kind and merciful and burn people for having the wrong thoughts. And I was also my mom and my dad. They were just only Muslim by name. They never prayed. They never fasted. The only time my parents went to a mosque is if somebody was getting married or somebody died. Those are the only times that they ever went into a mosque. They drank alcohol, they went party, they danced. So even though I was trying to do everything not to go to hell, I was imagining my mom burning in hell. I was like, I couldn't understand why would anybody burn my mom for she's not hurting anybody. And also, like in my household, we watch Hollywood movies. Our source of news was the BBC. Everybody in Iran followed soccer. And every time I turned on the TV, I looked at those people and like, okay, they're all going to go to hell. They're not Muslim. Like, oh, they're all going to burn forever. And it just didn't make any sense to me. How is that fair? Like, how is that just? So what I did, and this is like, I was still like around 15 or 6, like I was getting, yes, this getting closer to 16, I think by this time. I picked up a book in my library, in the library of my school, about the history of religion. It was a translation of a Russian book into Persian, and I was trying to understand that maybe other people from other religions are kind of like Islam, and that's why they will go to heaven as well, because it was so unfair for all these people to go to hell. So I was trying to understand other religions to try to see that maybe God is fair and all of them are going to go to heaven. But when I started reading that book, the history of religion, became so clear to me, even though that book was not making the argument that there's no God, but just by reading the history of religion, it became so clear to me that this is a man-made concept, and that this is just something that people come up with just for political reasons or other. It's just a mix of politics and culture. It was so obvious to me, even though I didn't know any other atheists. I didn't read of any other atheists. But just reading the history of religion, it just became, and I felt so arrogant because I didn't know any atheists, and I was thinking that I figured out that this is all a lie, even though everybody around me believed in God. So I was like, Armin, you're so arrogant. You are so arrogant that you think that you have discovered something that nobody around you has figured out. Like how full of yourself do you have to be to think that you're so smarter than everyone around you? So that's when I started an online community on Orkut. Back then, this was pre-Facebook. Like Facebook didn't exist back then. To try to see if other people think like me, and that's how Atheist Republic started. Atheist Republic started with me trying to find other atheists online, and eventually it grew to 2.5 million people around the world. It became the largest atheist community in the world until Facebook eventually removed it. We got banned, but we had more than 2 million followers on Facebook before it was removed by Facebook for I don't know what, hate speech or whatever. But yeah, so that's how I started Atheist Republic. Now we're just mostly active on YouTube, but we started on Facebook. But that's how my activism started. Me trying to figure out if there are other people out there that think like me.